Hey there, Diane Conklin with Complete Marketing Systems and Diane'sDozen.com. Back from a week in Mexico. Got a little bit of sun, as you can see. While we were down there, it was hot, hot, hot. But that's the one I want to talk about today. I saw something yesterday, actually on the way back. I guess that was Saturday, um, that really struck me. And it's about touching the lines. Now it's a sports reference. I know I've been using a lot of those lately, haven't I? But if you've ever been an athlete or watched a practice, you know that one of the things that most of the time athletes do, and especially in basketball, but almost every sport, is you're going to run sprints at some point during practice, right? And so you go from line to line. In high school, we called them suicides for basketball because we ran to from the in line to the first foul line and back, and then from the in line to the half court line and back, and then to the next foul line and back, and then right. But each time you have to touch the line with your hand. You can't just hit it with your foot or whatever, get close. You have to touch the line with your hand, right? And I listened to a former basketball player talk about touching the lines and talking about how if you don't touch the lines, not only do you hurt yourself, but you hurt your teammates and you hurt everyone involved because it's the little things, right? It's the little things that make a difference between success and failure. It's the little things that make a difference between your business surviving and your business thriving, or your business not surviving, quite frankly, right? If we're going to be honest about it. And so, we have a tendency as humans to want to cut corners, to want to do things quickly, to want to get things done, right? Let's get this done and out of the way. I'm dealing with a situation right now where I have somebody who's going to be doing some email outreach for me. And they keep sending me, there's two different things that they're going to email, right? Two different, so one is going to be coaching and one is going to be more for my COO, CMO kind of work. And they wanted to send the same emails. I'm like, no, that doesn't make sense, right? And then they're very I focused. Well, I'm a you focused copywriter. I want it to be focused on the reader, not me, the person sending it. And so it's very obvious to me that this company isn't touching the lines, right? They're trying to get this done. They're trying to use stuff they've used in the past and just insert my stuff in it instead of doing this the way it's going to get the most attention. If I'm going to pay for something, I want to get, right? And we tend to do that when we're paying for a service, but we tend not to do it as much when it's us, right? How critical are you of your own day to day? How critical are you of what you do on a daily basis, right? Do you look at the end of the day and say, hey, it was a good day and I got these four things accomplished? Or are you busy being busy instead of busy being productive? And if you're productive, you're probably not as busy as the person who's being busy, right? There's a drug that so many people are addicted to today in life and in business. It's, oh, I'm busy. People say that, I know you're busy, right? I said that to a COO of a $7.5 million company a few weeks ago. And he said, Diane, I'm not busy, right? I said, I know you're busy. And he said that to me, right? But I don't want to get off the topic. Touching the lines, it really struck a chord with me of, I'm not a believer in how you do anything is how you do everything. I don't think that's true, right? Because look, I don't run my business. I don't eat a donut the same way I run my business, right? There's a lot of those kinds of things. And so I'm not a believer in that, but I do believe that there's certain things in life that you want to give your all, that you want to make sure you're touching the lines, and your business and your relationships better be two of those things. And so I just wanted to share that as a way to start your Monday, as a way to start your week, as something to think about. What are you doing today? Are you touching the lines, or are you selling yourself and your team and your business and your life and your family just a little bit short? Because every time you do this much, it starts to grow, right? Well, if this much is okay, then this much must be. And we test those limits of how short can I come of the line, and pretty soon you're not running at all. You're just standing on the inline, right? So really think about, start your week critically as we end this month and we hit the 6-month mark of the year. We start the second half of the year. What are the things that you could take an extra step? What are the things that in the second half of the year you want to touch the line on that maybe you have not touched the line on in the first half? There's always things that we can do better. I'm not saying be super critical. What I'm saying is, are you touching the lines? Are you really giving everything you've got to the situation? And if you do give it everything you got, and you got everything you have, and it doesn't turn out the way you expected, it's okay. Just go back and look. What can we do better? Right? That's called optimization. But make sure before you do that that you're touching the lines. Are you? Are you touching all the lines in your life and in your business? And if you're not, what's holding you back? And if you need some help looking at that, reach out. Let's talk. Until next time, make it a great day. Have an amazing week. Finish up this month of June strong, and let's start July with a bang like the fireworks. I'm Diane Conklin with Complete Marketing Systems and Diane'sDozen.com.